to another episode of Learn from People Who Lived It.
Hi there, it's Matthew Blades. Can you describe a situation, or can you think about a situation in your life where you felt torn between two choices? Today's podcast is going to be especially for you. As I mentioned, I'm Matthew. I'm a speaker, a conversation coach, and a former broadcaster. And this is the show that's all about when life becomes the teacher. Welcome to Learn from People Who Lived It. Every Tuesday, we sit down with author and speaker Cortney McDermott, who's written several books and is one of my favorite people on planet Earth. And today, we're here to hash out that idea of the divided mind. And so first up, welcome back to Tuesdays with CoCo. How are you, Court?
Thank you, Matthew. I'm great. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a great day. Getting lots of stuff done, which always feels good. Court's, of course, got the books down there that you can see on the bottom screen. But you texted me earlier today and you said, you know what I really want to talk about is the idea behind James 1:8. And I'll put it up on the screen for people that aren't familiar with it. But it says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And so I can't wait to see what you have to say about this, because I think there's a lot of people right now who are having that little battle in their head. And maybe you are too, but you just come across as being somebody who's figured out a way to settle that noise down a little bit. So what does Cortney know that we don't?
Oh, wow. I don't know if it's what I know, but I love this passage, and there are different translations of it. My favorite is, a divided mind is unstable in all its ways. And what I love about that is I come back to this teaching every time I'm sort of seesawing on whatever it is, anything, right? And I remind myself that the seesawing action is very depleting, and that it's an enormous expenditure of energy to be jumping back and forth between, should I do this? Should I not do this? Do I believe this about myself? Do I not believe this about myself? It's just so much energy that's seeping out of you. And when you can kind of say, okay, let's just take it back a step and decide, right? Decide, that word, it comes from, it literally means to kill off the other options. Decidere. The root of it is literally to kill other options. And so what I love about it is, when you've decided something and you move forward, when you decide that you're going to just focus all of your energy and your resources in one direction, it seems that a lot of maybe what we might call miracles or just coincidence and synchronicities come in to aid your decision. Yeah.
So I know that every week you give us a meditation, and I'm kind of hoping that that's the case again today. But I'm wondering, what is the power of prayer or meditation in these moments where we are struggling with the divided mind?
Ooh, such a good question. So I love to suggest, as you know, to people to just go lay your body down, right? Just go when you're struggling with something and get horizontal, start to relax your body for so many different reasons that we've talked about, right? Chemically, what's happening, and just electrically, and then magnetically too, as a result of you relaxing and starting to bring different probability outcomes or attract them toward you. So for me, when you talk about prayer, it fits in there. So for instance, when I am feeling a divided mind, I will go lie down and I will talk to this supreme intelligence, whatever name you want to give it. And I will just say, hey, I'm struggling. Can you help me here? And just the relaxation process itself, it almost feels like a sweeping happens through my being, wherein I can open up to the idea that, okay, I'm safe to choose one. I'm safe to choose and move forward to the best of my ability. And I start to get some of those other insights that are so useful in terms of just helping us stay on track when there's so much noise. So call that prayer. I would call that prayer because it feels like prayer to me. It also feels like relaxing into trust or relaxing into faith. I was talking about this yesterday. If you want to go deeper on that, I think that's also really interesting.
Let's go. Keep going. Yeah, because yesterday we had Dr. Anna Marie Frank on, and we actually talked about this piece, and she talked about how she has become playful with God, right? Like she kind of jokes and kind of has this thing like, okay, is this what we're doing? I guess I got to figure this out. You know, what can you do to help me? And so, yeah, I'd love for us to go deeper on this, because this is the thing that I think will help folks get across that finish line.
Yeah, I've been talking to people as well about this for a long time. It's the moment that I get goofy. I even wrote about it in my second book. Like I also get playful with God and that energy, that intelligence, and I say, all right, I showed up, I did my part, I've made all the effort that I can in this direction. What's up? And so I've almost kind of not just goofy, but a little flippant, and when I've had those conversations with God, with this intelligence, so much shifts because I do get to move into that playful space, which is the space I believe of when things come to you, right? It's divine play. So I love that. It's absolutely the same for me. And what I was going to add to that a moment ago is really kind of this difference between hoping for something and trusting that something's already yours, right?
Mm.
And when your mind is set on something, there's that inherent trust. I've heard hope called a beggar, and I kind of love that because it's
Mm.
this reminder that when we say I hope for something, it's as if we don't have it. Versus when I trust or I have faith, it's already mine. And again, that's where we come back to this taking the divided mind and saying no, it's already mine. And yeah, maybe having those, sometimes I say I lately I've been saying like I have coming to Jesus moments with God. It's sort of like, all right, God, what's happening here? And I think that playfulness is really invites in a lot of transitions and changes and transformations.
Here's what I want to ask you. And for the people that have just joined us, we are talking about the concept behind James 1:8 today. A double minded man or a divided mind is unstable in all its ways. One of the things that you are responsible for in my life is me removing the word busy from my life. It's a
Mm,
word that I
mhm.
really try not to use anymore. Am I hearing you right? Should I stop using the word hope too?
I love this. I'm eliminating a whole bunch of words from your lexicon.
I know.
I
It's like I got,
I
yeah.
personally prefer trust, and I
Mm.
have much less over the last years used the word hope for the reasons that I just shared because yeah, it's almost as if saying that you don't get to inherit the kingdom now, right? And when we instead trust, this is my birthright. I get to play here. I get to enjoy this. I get to also make choices that are aligned with this deep creative energy surging within me and all around me. That's when I think that's when this bigger hand takes over in your life. And so I've essentially pretty much removed that word. I even say, instead of I hope you're okay, I say I trust you're doing well. I use that word trust a lot. Yeah.
Is there a place for hope though? Because I still feel like it's such a great word. Like hope to me feels like it just feels like there's something good coming. And so I wonder about that.
Well, every word carries a vibratory frequency, right? And the word is really invested with the power that you've given it. So if that feels like a great word for you, fantastic, right? So, for instance, trust feels like a great word for me. So,
Yeah.
it's really, and again, the words are needed until there's no more need of the word, right? The word is a reminder. It's kind of pointing at the moon. All of these words are pointing at the moon, and the moon is starstruck. There's nothing more to say. So for me, yeah, I think when something feels good, that's an indication. When it arises a certain electric and magnetic response in your field and in your body, right? Electric in your mind and the magnetic force of your emotions, right? When those are elicited by a word in a powerful, attracting way, then amen, go for it. Yeah.
One of the things that I want to ask you is how we can become better, or give me your interpretation of this, how we can become better at trusting the voice. When I'm on stages and I'm speaking, one of the lines that I typically deliver is, I really do believe this. And even as it's for me, I think most of us really know what we need to do or should do or want to do. I think we have a good sense of what that needs to be. Like right now, we know, but we just don't trust the voice, right? Good gets us back to that the verse, right? A divided mind. And so you have, the little angel over here and you got the little devil over here, and they're having this conversation in your head about which you should choose. How have you, Courtney, become better at trusting the voice?
Yeah, well, one is you got to do what most people don't want to do, which is you have to just, I don't want to say eliminate, because that's not, you don't have to eliminate, but definitely decrease the noise.
Okay.
We're just being bombarded, and mostly by choice. I believe it's mostly an intentional, although unconscious, distraction, right? So we like to be distracted. We like to keep ourselves distracted. We could keep ourselves distracted through information. We can keep ourselves distracted through work, alcohol, food, anything basically that we're consuming in a way can be a distraction and kind of clouding us either hearing that, as you call it, voice, or receiving those intuitive and instinctual nudges from this intelligence, any kind of noise, right, that gets in the way. And noise can serve a purpose, right? All of it is none of it's bad. It's not like, okay, now go in a cave and sit there for days, although that could be very helpful or drive you absolutely mad. But the point
Right.
is, again, I come back to over and
Are
over
there
again.
bears in this cave? That's what I need to know. Are there bears in the cave?
The only you got to go on the journey, my friend. I don't know.
No, thanks. All right.
But I come back to this over and over, and I think it's something that people tend to just brush over or not do. And even myself, I can avoid it because I just want to keep going. But the more I come back to the central teaching of a lot of what I share, of just go get horizontal, literally don't pick up a phone, don't go to your computer, whatever. When you're spinning, just go lie down. And even if it's just a few minutes, just get with it. And the more you start to train and entrain your body and your mind to this, the more you're going to receive those clear nudges, because it'll no longer be that you've just got a lot of noise going on and you don't know which direction to take and you're running all around and you're in high or mid-range beta and you just, it's like, give me another cup of coffee. It's more, let me really get with this. But again, most of us are going to avoid this at any cost. And I honestly tell you, I don't really know fully why that is. But I know, even for me, that I know the truth of this, there will be times where I choose to disregard it, where I choose to not go lie down. Instead, I go through another email or whatever it is. And I have to constantly remind myself as well that the real truth and the real wisdom and inspiration, it comes in those moments, and I can relax. I can relax. So yeah.
This is really good. Dr. Dave, who's going to be on with us tomorrow, he is somebody who talks a lot, I mean, extensively about patterns. And to me, this is kind of what we're talking about, is that people have been used to doing it one way, and you're suggesting a different way, right? And so it's going to take a practice to get to that point, because as you just mentioned, you're going to feel this nudge to like, well, let me just finish up on the emails, or, well, let me just go call this person, or, well, let me just finish this one last thing. And, your version of that is lying down, getting quiet. My version of that is hand over heart. What do you need? What do you need right now? And just connecting. And we talked about the power of prayer and meditation. And ultimately, it's all around shutting down the noise. And so I'm really interested tactically, yes, in how you break your pattern. So when it shows up and you hear the voice who says, just keep pushing through with emails, what does Cortney typically do in that case? How do you break the pattern when it shows up?
Well, one thing I really want to clarify is that this is not a practice. It's the antithesis of a practice, right? So it's not go breathe this way. It's not do anything. It's literally just time yourself out. It's a non-practice. And so for me, I respond differently. Sometimes I do just kind of power through and I do the thing, and that's okay. But normally if I do that, I feel kind of icky, and so it's my inner guidance system saying, something's off. And most of the time now at this point, I do try to just say, okay, almost the way you would with a little child of, hey, okay, you're spinning. Let's just go sit down. Let's just go lay down. Like there's nothing for you to do. There's nothing for you to do. And again, this gives the time and the space for the character to kind of just gently relax so that spirit or this intelligence can start to move through. And in the same way, this intelligence will tell you, send that email, make that call, do this thing. And when you get that instruction, it feels wildly different than when the character is leading that conversation. I talk about this all the time because it's the order, right? It's the order. So is the character leading, or is the spirit leading, or is the intelligence, the great intelligence within you leading? And that's where we get to decide that we're going to sit in the back seat and let it chauffeur us around. I mean, it wants to drive us everywhere. We still get to be active participants. We still get to decide where we're going to go. We can actually give it instructions, which is absolutely wild to me. But again, the more you get still, the more you're going to start to relate to it, and probably, hopefully, I'm going to use your word hope, make it the most powerful, your most powerful ally. And on that note, I would suggest, because I know we're getting close to our time here, that we move into a meditation, unless you had any other questions about it.
Nope, I was primed and ready for it. As soon as you were done talking, I was, music is ready. It's in the background already. I look forward to this every Tuesday. Thank you guys so much for being with us. For those that are here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We're here every week, and we just love your company as we build this channel and, all the things that come with it. So eyes closed, we're all yours, Court.
Thank you. Of course, if you're driving, leave them open. Maybe come back to this later. An invitation for anyone who is not operating heavy machinery or driving a car to close your eyes with us. Taking a moment to get with your breath. Taking a moment to just come into yourself, whatever that means for you. There's no right way. There's no wrong way. There's just the way. And when you put yourself in the way, you ally yourself to this great intelligence, miracles abound. Taking a moment to get familiar, a little more familiar with the space, a little more familiar with relaxation, a little more familiar with yourself. The deeper truth of yourself that doesn't need to prove, that doesn't need to make anything happen, that doesn't need to struggle and strive, and that can open itself to opportunity and potential, lightness of being. And just allowing yourself that space, because if you don't, no one else will for you. Holding yourself in that stillness and reminding yourself it's okay. And coming back to today's teaching, if a divided mind is unstable in all its ways, and if you felt total trust for yourself and life, what choice would you make now? Maybe your choice will be to turn this off and keep resting with yourself. Maybe your choice will be to get up and take a run. Whatever it is, claiming it. As the next step. Just the next step. And whenever you're ready, taking your time, beginning to flutter your eyes open and join us back if that's part of your choice.
Thanks as always.
Peace out, homie.
Thank you to everybody for watching today, and we hope to see everybody back here tomorrow for Dr. Dave's Mindworks, same channel, 12:30. Cortney McDermott, have a great rest of your afternoon. And I'll just remind everybody about the books. She is an incredible author, a great speaker, and we look forward to our time with you every Tuesday. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for watching.